Relationships can bring happiness and protect health. It's now well established that high-quality relationships are linked with better health and longer life, whereas poor quality relationships, or a lack of relationships, is as risky to health as cigarette smoking. What's less understood, though, is how people arrive at high-quality relationships that bring happiness and protect health. I'm Belinda Campos, and I'm professor and chair of the UCI Department of Chicano Latino Studies. My work has focused on factors and processes that characterize high-quality relationships, including positive emotions and their expressive displays. And a key question that I have sought to answer is whether sociocultural contexts that emphasize prioritizing others before the personal desires of the self shape relationships in ways that benefit psychological and physical health. My research, done in the Culture, Relationships, and Health Laboratory here at UCI, measures and observes subjective experience, behavior, and physiology, by which I specifically mean the levels of stress hormones circulating in our bodies and how our heart responds in social situations. And that research has found that sociocultural contexts that emphasize prioritizing others before the self, putting the personal desires aside for others, such as is commonly done in Latino and East Asian cultures, can be beneficial for relationships and protective of health. Among Latinos, there are Spanish language words that describe how social relationships should be. Debemos de convivir. We should have a certain amount of togetherness. And it turns out that sociocultural contexts that have these ideals are protective of health. I'm fascinated by the way that people think and feel and behave. That's why I became a psychological scientist. I also grew up recognizing that some of those cultural ideals and norms that my family regarded as the way to be are actually quite distinct. Other folks did things differently in their relationships. And I also saw that those unique features were often devalued. You need to be separate from your family was something I heard often, especially in college and after. Or the ways of doing things weren't represented at all in the classes that I was taking. My own lived experience, I'm a member of a large extended family, one of about 40 first cousins, told me that important knowledge was missing and that it needed to be better understood. People might be right that I needed to be more separated from my family, but they might also be very wrong. And as it turns out, these ways of doing relationships, putting others before the self, have a lot of things right. And now it's my privilege to shine a light on these ways of doing relationships that are really important. They're important to the people living these cultural ideals that they should know are something to be celebrated as sources of strength and resilience, and to the broader US culture that prioritizes the personal desires of the self more than ever before. Plus, what if we all see in this work ways to be healthier and happier? So are there things that we can all do to be happier and healthier? I think there's lots of things that you can do. You can do something as simple as sharing appreciation with those close to you. In a study we're currently doing, preliminary findings indicate that people enjoy writing about the things that they appreciate in close others. They enjoy sharing it with them, and it seems to be affirming bonds. I'd also consider putting others first, sharing experiences, whether it means going out to eat somewhere and going ahead with the other person's preference rather than that place that you wanted to try, and doing those kinds of things that we naturally do in relationships. It does all kinds of good.